Benjamin Franklin said, "Wine is constant proof that God loves us and loves to see us happy." And Napoleon said, "In victory you drink champagne, in defeat you need it." Today we are going to give you the secrets of good wine, how to find it, how to unravel the mystery of all those words on the labels, how to get really good wine at prices you can afford so you don't have to break the bank. We are fortunate to have as our guest Frank Reider, a restaurateur, author, and wine expert. He's going to show and tell us how to pick a really good wine from the hundreds or thousands of wines from around the world. So sit back, relax, have a glass of wine if you wish, and come around town with me, Howard Kay. Hello, I'm Howard Kay. So many wines to choose from so many countries. How can we know which will taste great? Here to take the cork out of the bottle of mystery that surrounds wine is Frank Reider. Welcome, Frank.
Good to see you, Howard.
Well, it's nice to have you here. Frank was the head of corporate lending for Chase Manhattan in Brazil, but went from there to owning five-star hotels with restaurants that had some of Brazil's best wine lists. Since 1997, he's been a resident of South Florida, and 4 years ago opened his highly rated restaurant Goal, the Taste of Brazil in Delray Beach. Every year the restaurant has been open, it has won the Wine Spectator's Award of Excellence. This guy knows what he's talking about. Frank, first, you were a big shot in the world of finance. What made you go from that to becoming a wine expert?
Well, it was, I guess, a gradual step. First, we went to the hotels, and we needed to have good wines at the hotels, and I just started to discover French wines, which back then were very affordable. Today, they're beyond most people's pocketbook. When we opened up Goal in Brazil 4 years ago, we needed to have wines, and I thought we would do the French wines like we did in Brazil. However, they were too expensive, and more importantly, too young. You can't drink good French wine right after it's bottled. It needs to age. So along the way, I was presented with wines from South America that were much more affordable and turned out to be fantastic. And many of them were done by French wineries in Argentina and Chile. And they are now as good as their parents from Bordeaux.
So you've specialized in the South American wines, specifically Chile and Argentina, like you said. But why those two regions?
Well, they have very unusual terroir, which means earth that enables them to have different grapes.
I got to stop you for 1 second because I can already see we're going to get into some of those fancy words. Say that word one more time. Terroir?
Terroir, which literally means land.
Okay.
And it's like a special characteristic of land. So different lands, like Bordeaux, for instance, which is the most famous, has very special characteristics that allows its wines to be fabulous when it's properly fermented and taken care of by expert winemakers. And Chile and Argentina also have these fabulous lands, these special lands that were discovered maybe about 150 years ago. And in the last 30 or 40 years, winemakers from all over the world have flocked to Chile and Argentina, discovering the terroir, the special characteristics of the land.
Talking about the land, though, are there similarities with the terroir in Chile and Argentina as in the Bordeaux, like you said, or is it that they're different, but they still lend itself to having excellent quality?
Right, they're different. First of all, the altitude is very different. Most of France is pretty much sea level or slightly above sea level, as is the United States. I went to a wine tasting for California and Oregon and Washington wines, and they were talking about their high altitude. It turns out that they had like 700 feet above sea level. The Mendoza, which is the heart of Argentine wines, makes about 80% of the Argentine wines, average is 3,000 feet above sea level. And there are places in Argentina that are 9,000 feet above sea level. That's Colorado, that's Vail, that's skiing. So the numbers are mind-boggling in terms of elevation,
Now,
and there are all kinds of implications of that.
but for the consumer, what does this elevation, the altitudes really mean? How do I know the difference between drinking a bottle that's at sea level or a wine that's obviously 9,000 feet at ski territory?
Well, the characteristics that are presented by the land in Chile and Argentina enable a good winemaker to make very special wines, as contrasted to, let's say, Boca Raton. Okay, it's very different. You also have the Andes Mountains for both countries. It's the spinal cord, let's say, of Latin America, and that's where the water comes from. The fact is, Argentina, for instance, is like a desert, has 6 inches of rain a year. And so all the water for the wineries comes from the irrigation system. And interestingly, the Incas were famous for Peru, but they also settled in Argentina and Chile and were experts in irrigation. Their irrigation system is the basis for Argentina and Chile today. And all of the wine if you have wine in Argentina, it's because you have water from the Andes through the irrigation system.
Now, let me ask you this. There's so many wines to choose from, obviously. There's American, there's French, there's German, there's Chilean, Argentinian, Australian. Growing up in California, as I did, Napa, which is a huge wine region, never seemed to get the accolades I remember when I was a child, but now seem to have grown to one of the premier regions in the world. And I'm just curious, how does that relate to the South American wines that you're talking about? Is this in its infancy at this point?
Yeah, the South America is, relatively speaking, in its infancy. The wines that we have here, they're all fantastic wines. Not all expensive wines, but all fantastic wines. Didn't exist 20 years ago. Not one of these wines existed 20 years ago. And in fact, one here, which is called the Carmenere grape, which is a fascinating story, they only discovered this grape in 1997. I should say it was classified as a grape in 1997.
Now, when you say they discovered the grape, just tell me a little bit about the difference between grapes and why this was so unique in its discovery.
Okay, so in the 1850s, the rich landowners brought vines from Bordeaux, from Spain, from Provence, from Burgundy, over to their country in Argentina and Chile and planted them. And gradually they grew, but most of the wines they made were for mass production. They didn't worry about aging. They didn't worry about putting them in barrels. They didn't worry. All they wanted to get was wine out as fast as they can and sell it at very low prices. Argentina has one of the highest per capita consumption, 7 times what the United States does per capita in wine. But it was all mass produced. In the last 20 years, they started to look for quality wines. And the leading person in Argentina, a man named Nicholas Catena, was a visiting professor in Davis at the University of California. And he saw Napa develop. He saw Mondavi challenge the French wines and win some blind wine tastings. And so he wanted to do the same things with his wine, where he was producing mass volume. He wanted to have high-quality wines. And he did that, and many others did as well.
So now we have this in this particular bottle, this new grape that was discovered. Is it more of the difference between the grapes, or is it the difference in the fermentation process that makes a great wine?
Well, the process is very important. But let's talk about this one grape, because it's originally from Bordeaux. It was brought over, as I said, in the mid-1800s, and it was planted as if it was Merlot. It was mixed in with the Merlot grapes from Bordeaux. And for years, everyone thought Chile had very special Merlot, different from anywhere else in the world. The reason was this was mixed in. And the reason this wine does no longer exist in France, where Bordeaux, where it originally came from, the phylloxera plague in the 1860s wiped it out, and wiped out most of Bordeaux. But they were able to replant it and recover it and have the great wines that they have until today.
I would assume that this is one of the things that people enjoy about wine collecting. It's the stories that go behind them and where they came from. But for most people who aren't at that point in their understanding of wines, they look at a bottle of wine and they have no idea how to choose a wine other than basically by price, and that's how they compare. But there's so much information on these labels. So let's take this one, as you've been talking about. This is that special grape that was discovered 20 years ago, basically. any of that information put on the label, and what is on the label that's so important that we should look at?
Okay, so this is a Terruño, which you can see is Conchitoro. Conchitoro is famous for mass-produced wines. It is like Gallo for Latin America. It's probably the third or fourth largest wine producer in the world today. Okay, it's sold on the New York Stock Exchange. But they've started to make great wines. This is an example of a great wine, and it's only in the mid-20s, $25, $26, $27. Fabulous wine. It compares, in my opinion, to great wines from Bordeaux. But just to tell you, so this Carmenere is found in block 27, okay, which means that this is a very special wine. It's DO, which means it comes from it's determined by the government that all the grapes in here came from this particular area.
Now, are these
That's
common terms that are on here that you'd find on most wine labels, or just...
Well, it's rare to have a DO,
Okay.
determined origin. It's very rare. It's just starting in Chile and Argentina, but even in France, only the best wines have a DO. Okay. And Piumo is an area of a valley called Cachapual. It's complicated names, in Chile, a couple of hours outside of Santiago. And Piumo has the best Carmenere grapes in the world.
And what are some of the other things that we should look for? While they always, typically it seems that you see a picture of the vineyard, sometimes it seems that you see the label Reserve on a bottle, and there's some other things.
Grand Reserve.
Right. What does all that mean?
Basically, it means in Chile and Argentina that you have to have a minimum of 12% alcohol to be a reserve, which virtually all the wines do. Some have 14, 15% is huge, okay? And I think too much for my personal taste anyway. But it has to be minimum 12%, and most reserves have been aged in oak a certain amount of time. Grand Reserve have always been aged in oak a certain amount of time. And it varies on the winemaker whether it'll be 12 months, 18 months, usually at maximum is 24 months.
I remember my father had, is it Lafite Rothschild from 1933?
Right.
And they were supposedly investment bottles of wine.
Correct.
And I remember he opened one.
Right.
And it smelled like vinegar.
Right.
So what is the importance and significance of aging wine, and what does get better and what doesn't get better?
Right. Most good Bordeaux, like a Lafite, if it's properly stored, okay, will get better with age. Not all. And there are bad years. There are years for all great wines that are just a little off, and they may or may not get better. You don't know until you have the experience of opening them. But after a certain number of years, most wines just don't get any better. So 1933, I mean, that's even older than you.
Yes, it is. I'm supposed to be the comedian here.
And so, there's a certain point that it just doesn't get any better, number one. And number two, if it's not kept at a constant temperature, okay, it will be ruined. And you can travel with it, and sometimes that'll ruin it. One wine I have here is totally organic and biodynamic. And we didn't talk about that, but I really would like to let you know.
Sure, what does that mean?
Okay.
Biodynamic.
Right. Biodynamic is another level of organic that involves the moon, believe it or not, the times of the month, depending on where the moon is, on when you pick or when you plant or when you fertilize. Everything is done according to the calendar, and it's very rigorous. And it's also independently examined to make sure you're obeying it in order to get the classification of biodynamic and organic. Now, organic, most people are somewhat familiar with, but organic means that the whole farm, which a winery is a type of a farm, is all internal, all organic. There's no chemicals at all in the whole process. And you have to go through 3 years without using chemicals, verified independently, before you can be classified as organic. A minimum of 3 years, I should say.
But you've now gotten to that extra level for this biodynamic. So you've actually brought spirituality to some extent into the winemaking process.
Absolutely, and it's part of the passion of everything. This Koyam is around $30, okay, in the store. It's very limited production. It's a blend of 5 or 6 different grapes, so there's no one that's dominant. It has a Carmenere, it has a Cabernet, it has a Merlot, and other grapes, and it is an incredible wine.
You're now in a restaurant, you order a bottle of wine, and it's served to you, and of course you're always asked, how do you say it, the sommelier?
Sommelier, yeah.
Sommelier asks